Batman is irreplaceable, but DC has spent decades quietly training his successors, sidekicks who mastered his skills, survived his wars, and even wore the cowl when Gotham needed them most. Some were smarter, some were darker, and a few understood Batman better than Bruce Wayne himself. These weren't random proteges. They were contingency plans built into the Bat family from the start. So if Bruce ever stayed down for good, which sidekick could truly become the next Batman? Here are 10 who could replace Batman. At number 10 is Dick Grayson, the original Robin and the first sidekick Batman ever trusted. Bruce Wayne took Dick in after the tragedy and trained him personally, shaping him into a disciplined fighter and sharp detective. For years, Dick fought beside Batman, learning every method, rule, and sacrifice that defined the Dark Knight. When he became Nightwing, it was not an escape from Batman, but proof that the training worked. Dick Grayson has already worn the cowl when Gotham needed him. After Bruce Wayne's disappearance, Dick became Batman and protected the city during its darkest moment. Later working as Batman alongside Damian Wayne, he led the Teen Titans and the Justice League, showing calm leadership under pressure and absolute trust in his allies. What separates Dick from Bruce is emotional balance. He connects with people, builds loyalty, and inspires teamwork across the Bat family. The barrier is choice. Dick does not seek the mantle permanently, but history proves he can. At number 9 is Jason Todd, the second Robin and the most fractured heir to Batman's legacy. Bruce Wayne trained Jason after Dick Grayson, teaching him combat, investigation, and survival on Gotham's streets. From the beginning, Jason was aggressive and impulsive, often clashing with Batman's rules. His time as Robin ended in tragedy when the Joker murdered him, a loss that permanently scarred the Bat family. After his resurrection, Jason returned as Red Hood, hardened and ruthless. Jason possesses the skills to replace Batman. He was trained by Bruce Wayne and later by the League of Assassins, making him a highly lethal fighter and tactician. He understands Gotham's criminal networks and Batman's methods in detail. During Battle for the Cowl, Jason forcibly took the Batman identity, wearing a high-tech suit and waging war on crime through lethal force. What holds Jason back is control. His trauma, anger, and rejection of Batman's no-kill rule define his path. He has worn the cowl, but never with restraint and never with approval. At number 8 is Tim Drake, the Robin who earned his place through intelligence rather than tragedy. Tim identified Bruce Wayne as Batman and Dick Grayson as Robin while still a child, proving his extraordinary detective ability before ever wearing a mask. Bruce took him in and trained him direct, trusting Tim with deep investigative work, strategy, and long-term planning. Tim served as the third Robin for years, operating as Batman's partner during some of Gotham's most complex cases. Tim Drake's strength lies in his mind. He is one of the finest detectives in the Bat family, often described by Bruce as his intellectual equal and eventual successor in detective skill. He has led Young Justice and the Teen Titans, coordinating teams under extreme pressure. After Bruce's disappearance, Tim traveled the world refining his abilities and studying Batman's methods in full detail. He was trusted with Batman's contingency files and journals, preparation meant for someone capable of carrying the mission forward. Tim has worn a version of the Batsuit during crises, stepping in to defend Batman's ideals. He does not rule through fear, but through precision, discipline, and unbreakable commitment to justice. At number 7 is Damian Wayne, the only Robin born into the Batman legacy. Damian is Bruce Wayne's biological son, raised from infancy by the League of Assassins and trained to be a living weapon. When Bruce brought him to Gotham, Damian was retrained to abandon killing and become Robin. From a young age, he showed elite combat skill, tactical awareness, and absolute confidence. Damian has defeated adult fighters, mastered multiple martial arts, and handled weapons with precision long before his teenage years. Damian believes it is his destiny to become Batman, a belief shaped by both Bruce Wayne and Ra's al Ghul. Bruce has personally trained him in detective work, leadership, and restraint, trying to replace lethal instinct with moral discipline. In several future timelines, Damian becomes Batman after Bruce's death, proving that the role consistently awaits him. Those futures show his struggle with violence before learning his father's code. What holds Damian back is age and temperament. His anger, pride, and assassin upbringing clash with Batman's restraint. He has the blood, training, and potential to become Batman, but only after discipline replaces aggression. With his live-action debut coming in the DCU's The Brave and the Bold, Damian is no longer just a contender, he is the inevitable future. Up to this point, every contender shared one thing: proximity to Batman. The next names prove that skill alone has never been enough to become Batman. At number 6 is Barbara Gordon, one of Batman's most trusted allies. She began as Batgirl, operating alongside Batman and Robin, and earning Bruce Wayne's respect through skill and discipline. As the daughter of Commissioner Jim Gordon, she understood Gotham from both sides of the law. After the Joker paralyzed her, Barbara did not leave the mission. She became Oracle, transforming herself into the central intelligence force of the Bat family. As Oracle, Barbara coordinated operations across Gotham and beyond, guiding Batman, the Bat family, and even the Justice League through data, analysis, and strategy. She built and controlled a global information network, solved cases through research and deduction, and led teams like the Birds of Prey through complex missions. Bruce Wayne relied on her judgment and trusted her with his secrets and contingency planning. Barbara has also fought on the streets, regaining mobility and returning to active duty when needed. What limits her as Batman is not skill, but role. At number 5 is Cassandra Cain, the most lethal protector Batman ever trusted. Raised from childhood as an assassin, Cassandra was trained to understand combat before language itself. Bruce Wayne took her in after she rejected her father's path and taught her Batman's code, discipline, and purpose. He trusted her enough to make her Batgirl, placing Gotham's safety in her hands. Cassandra possesses unmatched hand-to-hand combat skill. She reads body language instinctively, allowing her to predict and counter attacks before they happen. She has defeated elite fighters and even bested Bruce Wayne in combat. Her silence, speed, and precision make her terrifying to criminals, often ending fights before they begin. She operates with extreme stealth and has protected Gotham alone during major crises. Cassandra fights for redemption and loyalty to the symbol of Batman rather than personal power. What limits her is communication and detective depth. She leads through action, not words, and relies more on instinct than investigation. She has never worn the cowl, but her presence on the streets already mirrors Batman's shadow. At number 4 is Stephanie Brown, the only person in Gotham's history to be both Robin and Batgirl. She began as Spoiler, fighting crime on her own to undermine her villain father. Bruce Wayne eventually trained her and personally chose her to become Robin when Tim Drake stepped away. That role placed her directly on Gotham's front line beside Batman. After being removed for disobeying orders, Stephanie triggered a gang war by activating one of Batman's unfinished plans, an event that led to her capture and near death. She survived and later returned stronger, earning redemption as Batgirl under Barbara Gordon's guidance. Stephanie has full Batman training in combat, stealth, and investigation. As Batgirl, she defended Gotham independently, solved complex cases, and defeated major villains through persistence and adaptability. She has worked with the Bat family, the Titans, and Batman Incorporated, gaining wide operational experience. She follows Batman's no-kill rule and protects civilians without hesitation. What limits Stephanie is discipline. Her past shows impulsive decisions under pressure. She has never worn the cowl, but she understands its weight better than most. By now, it's clear that wearing the bat is not about strength, intelligence, or courage. It's about restraint. And what happens next proves that even official successors can fail, and that replacing Batman has a cost few can survive. At number 3 is Jean-Paul Valley, the only successor Bruce Wayne officially chose to become Batman. Known as Azrael, Jean-Paul was trained from birth by the Order of Saint-Dumas to be a relentless warrior. After Bane broke Bruce Wayne's back, Bruce personally passed the cape and cowl to Jean-Paul, trusting him to protect Gotham in his absence. Jean-Paul accepted the role with complete devotion. As Batman, Jean-Paul proved his physical capability immediately. He defeated Bane, the man who crippled Bruce, and survived relentless battles through endurance, aggression, and enhanced combat training. He redesigned the Batsuit into heavily armored gear and used overwhelming force to suppress crime. Criminals feared him because he showed no hesitation and no mercy. Gotham's streets grew quieter under his watch. However, Jean-Paul's conditioning began to control him. His violence escalated, his judgment narrowed, and he abandoned Batman's moral restraint. He isolated himself, rejected allies, and crossed ethical lines. When Bruce returned, he confronted Jean-Paul and reclaimed the mantle. Jean-Paul stepped aside, leaving behind proof that he could wear the cowl, but also proof of its cost. At number 2 is Kate Kane, known to Gotham as Batwoman. She is Bruce Wayne's cousin and a trusted ally, though she was never trained as a sidekick. Kate earned her place through military discipline, strategic thinking, and direct action. During Batman's absence, she stepped forward wearing the bat symbol so Gotham would not be left undefended. From that moment, she proved she could carry the weight of the mission. Kate is a former West Point cadet with elite combat training, tactical leadership skills, and experience commanding operations under pressure. She operates with advanced equipment, strong investigative ability, and a clear sense of duty. Batman trusted her enough to reveal his identity and later appointed her as co-leader of his team, placing Gotham's defense partly in her hands. She has led younger heroes, coordinated large-scale missions, and represented Gotham in Batman Incorporated. Kane has effectively replaced Batman's presence before, maintaining order and fear among criminals. What separates her is independence. She follows the mission, but not always Batman's strict rules. She has never worn the cowl, yet she has already proven she can guard Gotham when Bruce cannot. At number 1 is Jace Fox, the man who actually became Batman in modern continuity. Jace Fox is the son of Lucius Fox and grew up in the shadow of Batman's world, but not within it. After causing a fatal accident as a teenager, Jace abandoned his privileged life and disappeared, carrying guilt that reshaped him. During his exile, he trained his body and mind, mastering mixed martial arts, discipline, and survival. He returned years later, determined to atone through action, not inheritance. Jace took up the Batman mantle during the Future State era, wearing the cowl openly and operating first in New York and later in Gotham. He used advanced Wayne and Fox technology, stealth, and combat skill to fight crime while protecting the powerless. Unlike Bruce Wayne, Jace was not driven by childhood trauma, but by accountability and reform. He rejected killing and upheld Batman's core rule, while redefining the symbol for a new generation. Jace Fox is not a theoretical successor. He is Batman, proven in the suit, carrying the mission forward through responsibility rather than legacy alone. Which sidekick deserves the mantle next? Comment down below and press the subscribe button and bell icon for more DC deep dives.